Wuhan, a city rich in history, has emerged as one of China's most dynamic economic powerhouses. Strategically located in the heart of the country, it's much more than a typical city. Wuhan is a critical transportation hub and home to China's largest inland port. With thriving sectors in optoelectronics, automotive manufacturing, biomedical technology, and environmental innovation, Wuhan has become a center for groundbreaking advancements, fueling progress both regionally and nationwide. As a vital link for goods distribution across western China and along the Yangtze River Valley, Wuhan is generating new opportunities on both domestic and international levels. Beyond being a symbol of economic expansion, it's a driving force that connects China to the world. Yet, Wuhan's journey has faced its share of challenges. The COVID-19 pandemic placed Wuhan in the global spotlight, and issues like limited information access, the controversial wildlife markets, and ongoing pollution concerns have impacted its residents and cast a complex light on the city's otherwise vibrant identity. In stark contrast to Wuhan's towering skyscrapers and modern developments, a significant portion of its residents face severe housing challenges. Many cannot afford to buy or even rent a standard apartment, leaving them with few options besides the city's densely packed, low-cost neighborhoods. Amidst the provincial capital's sleek high-rises lies a distinctive community often referred to as the slum area of Wuhan. This neighborhood, especially the well-known Hexi Village, stands as one of the last vestiges of old Wuhan, housing a vibrant community of roughly 30,000 to 40,000 residents. Hexi Village is a lively, bustling hub filled with small stalls, street vendors, local shops, and even tourist attractions that intrigue visitors with its authenticity. Due to its central location, the area provides some of Wuhan's most affordable housing, attracting migrant workers who come to the city for employment but seek cost-effective living options. Why the label slum area? The term reflects the socio-economic landscape here. This neighborhood is predominantly occupied by lower-income individuals, blue-collar workers, and small-scale vendors who navigate daily financial challenges. However, many residents have a strong attachment to Hexi Village, resisting redevelopment efforts and viewing it as an essential part of Wuhan's identity. For them, Hexi Village isn't just a place to live. It's a community that represents resilience, deep-rooted connections, and the heart of the city's character. A recent report has spotlighted a critical issue in China. An overwhelming 60 million housing units remain unsold, impacting cities nationwide. This housing glut stems from soaring property prices that have priced out many would-be buyers, compounded by dwindling trust in the real estate market. Bloomberg Economics suggests it could take years to absorb these vacant homes into active use. While Wuhan doesn't hold Tier 1 city status, it hasn't escaped this crisis. The city is dotted with newly built structures, largely empty, awaiting residents. It's a striking sight, rows of vacant homes and apartments in a market with minimal demand. This oversupply has led to a dip in property values, creating a financial strain for developers and investors and decelerating the real estate market overall. The construction industry has also felt the pinch. Despite Wuhan's role as a key economic hub in central China, the real estate slowdown is impacting the broader economy. Numerous construction projects are paused, and public interest in housing investments is waning. Given the pivotal role of real estate in China's economy, this downturn has weakened consumer purchasing power, extending economic pressures across various sectors. To address this, Wuhan introduced a policy last year allowing residents to buy additional properties. Local families can now own up to 3 apartments, while non-locals are capped at 2. Notably, the top 10 Tier 2 cities by GDP have enacted similar measures, relaxing home ownership restrictions within set limits in an effort to reinvigorate demand. Wuhan is also known for its unique markets that showcase an array of extreme culinary offerings and live animal sales, attracting both local enthusiasts and curious tourists looking for adventurous experiences. Among the most infamous is the Huanan Seafood Wholesale Market. Before the pandemic, this market was a bustling hub for trading a variety of wild animals, including snakes, bats, raccoons, and even porcupines. This practice, known locally as Yue or wild flavor, is deeply rooted in local traditions, with many believing these exotic foods offer unique health benefits. In places like WUHAN, exotic animals are sold for both consumption and traditional medicinal purposes, as there is a long-standing belief that wild animal meats possess special health-enhancing qualities. Before the pandemic, these markets saw significant traffic from those intrigued by exotic or beneficial foods. These markets don't just cater to niche tastes, though. They also provide everyday staples, offering fresh meats and a wide selection of ingredients common in Chinese cuisine. Beyond wild animals, Wuhan's markets offer other extreme foods tied to long-standing Chinese customs, such as insects, frogs, and various types of reptiles. While some continue to value these foods for their perceived health benefits, there is a growing awareness of the health risks associated with consuming wild animals. For some, these markets represent culinary curiosity or adventure, but the sale and consumption of wild animals have become increasingly controversial, fueling public debate over tradition, health, and safety. When COVID-19 emerged in Wuhan, it wasn't just the virus that faced stringent controls. The information about it did as well. As the pandemic began spreading in late 2019, China swiftly enforced tight restrictions on any COVID-related information, both domestically and internationally. Starting in December 2019, this information lockdown only intensified, marking an era of heightened media control. While China has long been recognized for its firm media oversight, the pandemic saw censorship reach unprecedented levels. Media outlets that attempted to report on the outbreak or question the government's response were swiftly censored. One of the most notable cases was that of Dr. Li Wenliang, an early whistleblower who raised the alarm about the virus's potential risks. Summoned by police, Dr. Li was accused of spreading false information and was pressured to retract his warnings. Tragically, he later succumbed to COVID-19 himself, becoming a symbolic figure for transparency advocates worldwide. In addition to traditional media, social media faced severe restrictions. Platforms like Twitter and Facebook were blocked outright, while domestic sites such as Weibo and WeChat came under intense surveillance. Any posts or comments critical of the government's handling of the crisis were swiftly deleted. Chinese online platforms were obligated to monitor content rigorously, ensuring that nothing deviated from the official narrative. Entire discussions, posts, and websites that contradicted the government's messaging could be quickly erased. This stringent control of information posed significant challenges for other nations and international organizations striving to keep Chinese citizens informed with timely updates. China became increasingly guarded about sharing virus data, and some reports indicated that early case numbers in Wuhan may have been understated, fueling skepticism about the transparency of official figures. Under President Xi Jinping, China has adopted a forceful approach to internet regulation, especially in cities like Wuhan, as part of a broader strategy known as cyberspace sovereignty. This policy allows the government to exert absolute control over the digital space, actively censoring topics it deems sensitive, including criticisms of the government and any information that could tarnish the country's image. Through this carefully curated flow of information, the Chinese government crafts a controlled narrative ensuring that what circulates online aligns with its preferred storyline. The Yangtze River, China's largest and the third longest river globally, spans a vast basin that serves as a critical water source for millions. However, rising populations, severe soil erosion, and deforestation along the Yangtze River Valley have led to a steady deterioration in water quality. Rapid economic growth in cities along the river has exacerbated this issue, with pollutants from industrial, agricultural, and urban sources frequently finding their way into the Yangtze's waters. Heavy metals in particular have become a major contaminant, posing serious risks to both ecosystems and human health. In Wuhan, heavy metal pollution is a significant and growing concern, largely tied to the city's rapid industrialization. Key industries, including optoelectronics, automotive manufacturing, and biomedicine, release waste containing hazardous metals such as lead, mercury, cadmium, and chromium. These metals enter nearby rivers and soils, creating long-term environmental and health risks for local communities. The Yangtze River remains a crucial water source for Wuhan and surrounding regions. However, as heavy metals seep into the soil and water, they contaminate crops, drinking supplies, and multiple levels of the food chain, impacting human health across the area. Residents exposed to heavy metals face heightened risks for chronic illnesses, including neurological and kidney disorders, as well as various cancers. The waste from Wuhan's industries frequently carries these toxic elements, infiltrating rivers and soil. This pollution not only damages the local ecosystem, but also poses a severe health risk to residents. Given Wuhan's strategic location along the Yangtze, the impact of industrial pollutants extends to the broader region, affecting everything from agricultural produce to drinking water and food safety. Fish populations in the Yangtze are particularly vulnerable, as heavy metals accumulate in their tissues over time, moving up the aquatic food chain. When people consume these contaminated fish, the metals transfer into the human body, posing significant health hazards. This buildup of pollutants in Wuhan and along the Yangtze underscores the urgent need for stricter environmental controls to protect both the ecosystem and public health.